hair than any other topic. When women see a young-ish woman with naturally gray hair, they want to know, what's your story? How did you come to this conclusion to let your hair go gray? Was it hard? What was the journey like? How long did it take you? These are just a few of the questions that women ask me. I thought, what better way to celebrate my 3rd year of being done with the dyeing process than to do a quick video sharing my personal gray journey. I'd like to start off by saying I am not on a mission to get women to stop dyeing their hair. Not at all. I'm not against hair dye. If you find joy still in going to the salon, if it makes you feel pampered, if you like that, then by all means, do it. It's really fun. And for a season of life, I loved it. But there was a season when the joy ended. And that season for me was when it became a chore. I first started noticing a few grays in my early 20s and started significantly having gray hair in my late 20s. So I dyed my hair to cover gray specifically for about 12 years or so. And it was probably that last 5 years that the joy was gone. I no longer found it fun to go to the salon. I found it monotonous, time-consuming, expensive, and those last couple of years, my grays, they did not want to be covered anymore. Everything we did, it would work for about a week and a half. And then my silvers, they wanted to shine. They wanted their moment to shine. And I started for a whole 2 years, guys. I started mulling around the idea of stopping. I remember having a couple people say to me, you're too young to go gray. And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Clearly I'm not. Clearly I'm not, because here I am. I'm not too young to go gray because I've gone gray. So finally, I made the decision on March 8th, my 3 years ago, March 8th, I made the decision to not have my hair dyed again. So my hairdresser was completely on board, very supportive, which is key. The way that I approached the journey was I went cold turkey. I went all in, y'all. Now, some women can't do that. Some women, they want to do highlights. They want to do, a lot of different low lights and things to let the gray be more gradual, and that line of demarcation can sometimes be really shocking, which I totally understand. So there are so many ways that you can go about your personal going gray journey. For me, I decided to go cold turkey. What does that mean? That means I stopped dyeing my hair and I didn't do any more processing, any more color treating to it at all. I let my hair grow out for 5 months. It was hard. My grays against the dyed hair were very shocking. And I felt frumpy. I felt pale and washed out. I was concerned about that. I was concerned that my new hair color was going to make me look drab and really unattractive. Every time I looked in the mirror, it was really hard. I would get a glimpse of myself and I would think, oh, that hair growth, the silver gray hair growth next to the dyed hair is really tricky to navigate emotionally. And because I let my hair grow, I just let it grow for 5 months. 5 months, that's a long time. The dyed portion of my hair started changing colors. It went from being dark, like dark brown to like a burgundy because I wasn't dyeing it, so it was fading. Whew, it was rough. I wore a lot of hats during those 5 months. It was during the summertime, so I was able to wear a lot of ball caps. I wore cute little fedoras. I wore beach hats to the beach. I lived in hats. I learned how to pull it back in certain ways to try to mix it up and make it not look like such a line. but it was tough. I am not gonna sugarcoat it, guys. But my resolve was tougher because I decided to cut off all my hair at that 5th month mark. I went into my hairdresser. I had been communicating with her through text, and we decided to go the pixie route. That route's not for everybody. I completely get that. For me, I wanted that dyed hair off my head so bad, so bad. So that's what I did. Cut it all off into a pixie. I'm gonna put some pictures in this video. You can see all along my journey. I'll never forget all that dyed hair getting cut off my head. I felt like a new woman, but I also felt very frightened. I felt like everybody was staring at me. I felt like people were looking at me like I looked strange. I felt naked. Guys, it was all in my head. Then came the journey of growing out the pixie cut and adjusting to my new hair color. Now, it took one more cut to get all of the dyed ends off. I wasn't willing to go as short as I needed to that first cut to get all the dyed hair off. I got most of it off. The second cut is what got all of the dyed hair off, and I remember loving it. I remember loving the way my hair looked. I was surprised that I didn't have nearly as much gray as I thought I would. Like, I obviously had a full head of gray hair, but your hair, that demarcation line next to your dyed hair is such an illusion. And this is my biggest tip to women who have decided to stop dyeing their hair. You cannot know what your hair is gonna look like until you're done. Do not make decisions based on what it looks like in the journey. There's a life lesson there, isn't there? I'm gonna give you guys a few tips that I learned along the way that I personally think are really imperative to a successful journey. Tip number 1, commit to the process. You are for sure going to have moments where you can't stand it any longer. I suggest getting a new lipstick, buying a new pair of earrings, washing your hair, styling it, doing something different, maybe getting a fresh cut, doing something, but don't give up on the process. The second tip is very simple. Stop dyeing your hair. Now, some women just absolutely can't handle it and they want to do lowlights or highlights. I understand, but I highly encourage you to stop. Stop processing your hair. Let it do its thing. Just let it grow. Tip number 3 is cut your hair into a chic style. I really recommend getting your hair cut into a style that works for you, that works for your talents and abilities to keep it up, and makes you look fresh and current, sophisticated and classy. Tip number 4, choose to not listen to anybody but yourself. You may or may not have a lot of voices coming at you about your decision. It's okay. Be determined to get some tough skin and let people have their opinion. You don't have to agree with them. You can have your opinion, your goal, your journey. It's all you. It's your hair and it's your decision. Listen to what you want for yourself and block all the rest out. Tip number 5, embrace that awkward first year. I think if you are prepared to understand that it's gonna be a little rocky at the beginning, then you're not gonna be set up for failure. Just embrace it, own it, recognize that, yep, it's gonna get worse before it gets better and you're gonna survive. Tip number 6, I highly recommend that you take photos. I am so glad I did. It's gonna not only benefit you to see how far you're coming, you can take a photo that first month, compare it to a photo in the second month, and it gives you encouragement to see, okay, it is growing, it is happening, we're getting through this. But on the other side of this journey, I feel like my photos have really benefited other people to say, no, don't give up. You can do this. If you feel like your hair is looking so gray, and you just think, I just don't know if I can do it, you can, because here's my photos. Look at my transition. Look what I was able to do, and you've got this. So photos not only benefit yourself, but they can benefit others as well. And tip number 7 is probably my favorite. Find a community that you can look to for support and inspiration. I found this fantastic Facebook group called Gray and Proud, and some of these women, we've become friends. Like, we are friends, and I adore what they say, the encouragement that they give each other. Women are very vulnerable in this group. It is a crucial place. I'm not sure that I could have done this journey without the support of that particular Facebook group. These women are fantastic, and I can't say enough good things about having a community that has your back. I decided to go into my Gray and Proud group on Facebook and just make a post and ask ladies if you could give any advice. If you are through the journey and you have made it to the other side, and you could give any advice to anybody that is beginning this journey, what would your advice be? Here are some seasoned women that have some advice and some encouragement for you. Mandy said, I think I learned that making the decision and seeing it through can give you huge confidence when you realize that you can do it. It's given me the confidence to make other huge changes in my life as well. Amy says, I learned how to ride out those moments of self-doubt and discovered that they pass quickly. The end result was increased self-confidence, self-love, and rebellion against my insecurities. I love that. Deb says, be patient and don't give up. There is such great freedom once you make the decision. I love what Angela says. It took me 3 tries, and that's okay. It's a process of self-acceptance. More than anything, I gained confidence that I wish I had found earlier in life. Do you see the confidence theme here? Julie says, in the beginning, you don't realize how liberating the experience is going to be. You stop worrying about if others can see your gray, and you stop worrying about trying to cover them. You really learn self-love and self-acceptance, and this makes the journey worth it. I love what Janine says. You can't know the outcome until you get there. Don't assume it's going to be a certain way. I would never have expected mine to be this way, even when I was halfway through the process. I love the honesty of Selena. She just says, but seriously, just do it. It's hard, but I promise it's worth it. Just make the decision and do it. Shauna says this quick little comment, beauty comes from within, love yourself, love others, it's contagious. Age is only a number and hair color is just a color. Wendy says, believe in yourself. Self-worth is a choice. Only one opinion matters when it comes to our hair, ours. Someone else's attempts to bring us down is a reflection of their own inner conflict. Don't take it personally. Lynn says, I feel so much more beautiful and confident with my silver hair. I'm finally comfortable with my age and my choices. Marta says, it's very hard to wait and wait. You learn to have patience, and I could not do it, so I cut it all off. Me too, Marta. I hope now to just let it grow. It's definitely a journey. Bridget says, growing out my silver hair was more about self-discovery. I realized that gray hair is not about being old. It's just about being you. One question that I do get from ladies are, did you have to change your clothing? Did you have to change your makeup? Yes, I did actually. I threw away anything that was tan or brown or beige. Anything I had in my closet that were those colors, I threw them away. Now I stick to mostly black, I stick to white, jewel tones, blues, pinks, purples, reds, burgundies, plums, wines, greens. All of those shades look really nice on my complexion with my new hair color. Pretty important if you're going to not want to feel washed out, to make sure that you are dressing in colors that complement your skin tone. As far as makeup, the same rule applies. I feel like I look much brighter and put together and sophisticated when I wear jewel toned shades. So I gravitate more to the icy instead of the neutral. And it really is amazing how it can make your eyes pop, your skin glow. A little bit of a pink lip makes a really big difference. And just a little blurb, I am an artist for a makeup company, and if you're interested in having me color match you or walking through what would look nice on you, that's what I do. I would love it. This is my very first photo that I took showing that my silvers were peeking through. My first down-facing photo where you can really see the roots and that line of demarcation. Here's another photo showing the demarcation line. This picture was taken outside, so you can really see the difference between the roots and the dyed hair. Another photo showing the difference between the roots coming in and the dyed hair. But here I'm very thankful for hats. This is my daughter. This is my sister and I'm super thankful for this hat. I wore it all the time. But I want you to check out this photo. This is me sitting underneath a skylight in my bedroom, and you can see that crazy burgundy color next to the roots. But this is Pixie Cut Day, hallelujah. This is my second haircut where I got all the dyed hair off my head. This is just a couple weeks later where it had grown just a bit, and it just kind of changes shape over time. This was my least favorite stage right here of growing out the pixie. There always has to be that one little awkward stage, but this is where we are officially at the bob, where you're feeling more feminine. The pixie is officially grown out. Now here we have a style, it's looking pretty, and here it is getting longer. Very happy. Thanks so much for being here. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and share this video with anybody who you know may be wanting to begin this journey and just might need a little encouragement. I love you guys. Remember, you're worth investing in.